Hi, my name is Andrew Powers, and I'm one of the co-founders of Key Tech Labs. We're a STEM education company that brings emerging technologies to underrepresented youth. One of the things we're doing today is actually bringing this class called Games from Scratch. Kind of like it sounds, we teach you how to build games using the coding program called Scratch, which is actually designed by MIT. We've done this class at the STEM camp with the Mona Bailey Academy, and because of COVID-19, we're here to give it to you so that you can do it even at home. So what's Games from Scratch? Well, it's a program where we teach you how to create a game using MIT's Scratch program, where you'll be able to create objects and different characters that interact with each other and actually create a storyline. So that's what we'll be teaching in just a second. With Games from Scratch, what we'll be covering are things like variables, objects, characters, and stages. With those, you'll be able to interact between all of them, creating a game, an experience that you're much familiar with, but also not just this game, but the opportunity to create more. So, let's get started. Hey, this is Andrew Powers. I'm in the bottom left corner, if you can see. I'm doing a screen capture using Loom right now so that we can start Games of Scratch. Talked about the fact that Games of Scratch is using a program called Scratch, which allows you to code using blocks. We've given a short visual, but right now we're going to go into the introductory of what that means, what it looks like, and where we're going to find all our materials. So let's get started. The first aspect is we're actually going to go to a different site than Scratch. We're actually going to go to raspberrypi.org. So I'll show you raspberrypi.org. And the reason we're going there is because we're not just learning about Scratch, we're also learning about this wonderful device called a Raspberry Pi, which is a credit card sized computer that was specifically made to teach anybody computer science through hands-on activities. One of the ways we're going to do that is by building these Scratch projects that can actually play and run on a Raspberry Pi. And Raspberry Pi and Scratch actually go together so much that in this top right corner, we have a Projects tab. And when I click that, it's going to take us here. This is where Raspberry Pi has a few projects. You can do robotics, digital art, music, websites, but in our case, we're going to start with the games. So if you follow me to the games, it brings you up here. Tons of games to choose from, tons of games to start with, but I think for us, because we're a little advanced, we're going to go for this one called Clone Wars. Just click on it, and there you go. So this is actually a full tutorial of what we're going to do for this Games from Scratch program. We're going to follow this tutorial. I'm essentially going to be doing the Scratch coding in front of you in basically 7 different pieces. And you can follow along with the tutorial. You can listen to me and just get to see how I'm figuring out this code and how I'm setting it up so that you can get a gist of how to code and how to think about coding, because it's essentially the process in which you attack the problem, not exactly the language, if you want to say. So with that, let's get to knowing what we're about to do. So you can see over here, this is going to be using Scratch 3, which is online, or you can download it. The introductory is pretty much going to show you the end result or where we're going to get to. And we're actually going to go a little bit farther than just what you're about to see, so don't get discouraged by the simplicity. But here it is. That's what Scratch is. You see this stage, you see all these characters, and when you press the flag, that's what starts this game. So let's see what it does. All right, you got a bat, I guess a hippo, and I can move left and right. And if I push the space button, I'm shooting lightning. So that's essentially the game right now. No scores, dodging grapefruits, and moving left and right. All right, so we'll add a little bit more dynamic to that, but as you can see, when I get hit by one of these hippos or oranges, it explodes and it basically starts over again. And I guess I got 3 lives with a game over screen. All right. So that's the game. Those are the dynamics, and we're going to play with those to find out how to make those hippos come back and forth, that bat going left to right, and all those aspects of this game. So the way we're going to do that is actually just finish this page just to see what we need. So of course we need a computer. They can run Scratch, and that runs online. We're going to be doing the online version. There is an offline you can download in case your computer's not running too well. And what we'll be learning is how to make the sprites and allow them to have keyboard inputs, how to clone sprites so that they're making copies of themselves, and how to use a broadcast and receive block to send messages, essentially allowing one block of code or one sprite to interact with another sprite. All right, so that's the introduction, and we'll get on to the next one.